भैयासकी प्रभु। जय राधा पार्थसारथी ललिता विशाखा, राधा पार्थसारथी ललिता विशाखा। जय सीता राम लक्ष्मण हनुमान, सीता राम लक्ष्मण हनुमान। जय हो। जय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय, जय गौरानिताय। जय हो। जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह देव, प्रहलाद नरसिंह देव, प्रहलाद नरसिंह देव, प्रहलाद नरसिंह देव। जल्दी करो। गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल। जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा, जय प्रभुपदा। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले, श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे, निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare। जय हो जय हो। जय हो जय हो। कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
आगे कोई बुरा तो है कि गुरु का कीर्तन कर लो, हो सकता है फिर भी चाहे करना, हो सकता है कि देखते हैं, पता नहीं। और ये रिकॉर्डिंग करना तो कर सकते हो, वो देख लो जैसा।
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। जय हो जय हो। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। जय हो। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। जय हो जय हो। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। जय हो जय हो जय हो। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। गौर हरि निताई।
आया नहीं होगा जी, पानी में आया।
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे हरे। गौर हरि निताई। प्रभुपाद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय हो प्रभुपाद जय हो हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
श्री गुरु चरण पद्म केवल भक्त जे सदमा श्री गुरु चरण पद्म केवल भक्त के सदमा वंदन में सब जान मते सावधान मते जहार प्रसादे भाई ए भवतोरिया जाए जहार प्रसाद भाई ए भवतोरिया जाए कृष्णा प्राप्ति है जहाँ कृष्ण प्राप्ति हो जाते
Guru Mukha Padmavaka Chitete Koriyaka Guru Mukha Padmavaka Chitete Koriyaka Arna Koriyo Mone Acha Arna Koriyo Mone Acha Sri Guru Charanarati Eske Tamagate Sri Guru Charanarati Eske Tamagate Jai Prasade Pure Sarva Asha Jai Prasadi Pure Sarva Asha Jai Prasade Pure Sarva Asha Chakudana Dilage Janme Janme Prabhu Se Chakudana Dilage Janme Janme Prabhu Se Bhagyan Hriday Prakashito Bhagyan Hriday Prakashito Prem Bhakti Jaha Hoite Avidya Vinas Jate Prem Bhakti Jaha Hoite Avidya Vinas Jate Vedika Jahara Charito Vedika Jahara Charito Sri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adhama Janara Banda Sri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adhama Janara Banda Loknath Lokera Jivana Srila Prabhupada Lokera Jivana Ha ha Prabhu Kore Toya Jai Hamare Pada Chaya Ha ha Prabhu Kore Toya Jai Hamare Pada Chaya Here goes Gushu Tribhuvano Here goes Gushu Tribhuvano Shila Prabhupada Pratika Pavano Shila Prabhupada Pratika Pavano Prabhu Kora Jaya Deho Amore Pada Jaya भक्ति जय होते गोविंद विनाश जाते प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते गोविंद विनाश जाते प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जाते जय 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 प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Namayom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavade Paschatya Peshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna Jaya Gaur Bhaktivinoda Jaya Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Parthasarthi, Radha Parthasarthi, Radhe. Jayo Radha Parthasarthi, Radha Parthasarthi, Radhe. Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. Jai Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Jaya 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 Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya 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 Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande. Jayom Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtaterasata Sri Simad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Iskcon founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki. BBT founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki. Food for Life founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki. Protector of the cows, Go Raksha, founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki. Namacharya Thakur Vaiyasaki. Prem se कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की श्री वृंदावन धाम की श्री मयपुर धाम की श्री जमुना माई की श्री गंगा माता की श्रीमती भक्ति देवी की श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की और इनाम संकीर्तन की गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Jai Sisi Guru Gauranga Hari Hari Bol.
मेरे साथ हैं हमारे गुरुदेव के चरण कमल ही एकमात्र साधन है जिनके द्वारा हम शुद्ध भक्ति प्राप्त कर सकते हैं. मैं उनके चरण कमलों में अत्यंत भक्ति एवं श्रद्धा पूर्वक नतमस्तक होता हूँ. उनकी कृपा से जीव भौतिक क्लेशों के महासागर को पार कर सकता है तथा कृष्ण की कृपा प्राप्त कर सकता है. मेरी एकमात्र इच्छा है कि उनके मुख कमल से निकले हुए शब्दों द्वारा अपने चेतना को शुद्ध करूं. उनके चरण कमलों में अनुराग ऐसी सिद्धि है जो समस्त मनोरथों को पूर्ण करती है, जो मेरी बंद आँखों को खोलते हैं तथा मेरे हृदय में दिव्य ज्ञान भरते हैं. जन्म जन्मांतरों में ये मेरे प्रभु हैं। वे प्रेमा भक्ति प्रदान करते हैं और अविद्या का नाश करते हैं। वैदिक शास्त्र उनके चरित्र का गान करते हैं। हे गुरुदेव, हे प्रभुपाद, करुणा सिंधु तथा पतितात्माओं के मित्र, आज सच्चे गुरु एवं सभी लोगों के जीवन है। हे गुरुदेव, हे प्रभुपाद, मुझ पर दया कीजिए तथा मुझे अपने श्री चरणों की छाया प्रदान कीजिए। आपका यश तीनों लोकों में फैला हुआ है। श्रीमद् प्रभुपाद की जय।
Hare Krishna. So I would like to welcome His Grace Vaiyasaki Prabhu. Prabhuji is Srila Prabhupada disciple and is well known for his Kirtan. He is a world famous Kirtaniya. So I would like to welcome him wholeheartedly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
जय कुंज हरे। जय राधा माधव, जय कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभा, गिरिवर धारी। जय गिरिवर धारी। गोपी जन वल्लभा, गिरिवर धारी। जय गिरिवर धारी। जय राधा माधव, जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव, जय कुंज बिहारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन, जय ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन, जय ब्रज जन रंजन। जय जमुना तीर वन चारे जय कुंज बिहारी। जय जय तीर बनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Sri Guru Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Srila Prabhupada ki. So we're continuing our study of Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, chapter 3, and this chapter is entitled Yamaraj Instructs His Messengers. That means that Yamaraj is instructing the Yamadutas. So whatever the Yamadutas do is based on the instruction of Yamaraj. So we want to be on the good side of Yamaraj. Which shloka today? 22. 22. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayo Mudiraet Nashtapraye Svabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavat Yuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Sri Gurun Dinotarinam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So yesterday, you did Shlokas 20 and 21, which is one of my favorite shlokas because my name is in there. You remember from yesterday? Text number Shloka 21 goes, Vada saite vijanimo dharma bhagavatam bhata. No, not that one. Sorry, the other one. Swayambur Narada Shambhu Kumara Kapilo Manu Pralado Janako Bhishmo Balir Vaiyasakir Vayam. So you did that shloka yesterday, right? Who remembers what is the meaning of Vaiyasaki? Shukdev Goswami. So I'm going to teach you some Panini Sanskrit grammar now. There's a rule that guna takes vriddhi. When guna takes vriddhi, when the guna, the short vowel sound, takes a long vowel sound, it denotes offspring. Just like you have Vasudev, the short A, and the offspring of Vasudev is Vasudev. You have Janak Maharaj. The offspring of Janak is Janaki. Guna takes vriddhi. So Vyas. The offspring Vyas is Vaiyasaki. Vaiyasaki. So this is Sanskrit grammar. The guna takes vriddhi. So whenever you see that, then you know that it's either son or daughter of a great Mahatma. So I should have given class yesterday, but anyway, today. Hare Krishna. So today's shloka. Etavan Eva Loke Asmin Etavan Eva Loke Asmin Pumsam Dharma Para Smrita Pumsam Dharma Para Smrita Bhakti Yoga Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Bhagavati Tan Nama Grahanadivi Tan Nama Grahanadivi Etavan Eva Lokesmin Pumsam Dharma Parasmrita Bhakti Yoga Bhagavati Tannama Grahanadivi Etavan Eva Lokesmin Pumsam Dharma Parasmrita Bhakti Yoga Bhagavati Tannama Grahanadivi. Vaishnavis, Etavan, this much, eva, indeed, loke asmin, in this material world, purusham, pumsam, of the living entities, dharma, the religious principles, pada, transcendental, smrita, recognized, bhakti yoga or devotional service, Bhagavati, to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not to the demigods. Tat, his, nama, of the holy name, DarshanAarti, beginning with chanting. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Devotional service beginning with the chanting of the holy name of the Lord is the ultimate religious principle for the living entity in human society. Responsively, please. Devotional service, beginning with the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, is the ultimate religious principle for the living entity in human society. Srila Prabhupada's purport, as stated in the previous verse, Dharmam Bhagavatam, real religious principles means true, bona fide religious principles, are Bhagavad Dharma, the principles described in Srimad Bhagavatam itself, or in Bhagavad Gita, the preliminary study of the Bhagavatam. And now Prabhupada asks a rhetorical question. What are these principles? So these principles we should all know. The Bhagavatam says, Dharma projita kaitavotra. In Srimad Bhagavatam there are no cheating religious systems. Everything in the Bhagavatam is directly connected with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Bhagavatam further says, Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adhok sajay. The supreme religion is that which teaches its followers how to love the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is beyond the reach of experimental knowledge. Such a religious system begins with Tan Nama Grahana, chanting of the holy name of the Lord, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam. So, Tan Nama Grahana. So Grahana means to accept. To accept that holy name. That's the beginning. In the very beginning, we accept the holy name that this is Bhagavad Dharma. We may not have a deep understanding. We may have Andavishwas, but because the devotees and the spiritual master are telling us that this is the topmost understanding, grahana, we accept. And therefore that is the beginning of our spiritual life. And from that, we come out of the Andavishwas into real Vishwas, real faith. And then from the real faith, when we continue chanting, we come to Shraddha, which means trust. We have complete trust in the Lord. When you take faith to the highest, then it becomes trust. Now there's no more doubt. Trust means you have 100% conviction, 100% dedication. So this is the beginning now. We're speaking about the beginning. That's accepting the holy names of the Lord. After chanting the holy name of the Lord and dancing in ecstasy, one gradually sees the form of the Lord, the pastimes of the Lord, and the transcendental qualities of the Lord. So this is Nam. From the Nam, you see Rup. From the Rup, we see Gun and Leela. So Nam is the beginning. Nam, Rup, Gun, and Leela. So we should very carefully, very sincerely, and with great dedication, we should be chanting the holy names so that we can truly understand the form of the Lord, the pastimes of the Lord, and the qualities of the Lord. This way, one fully understands the situation of the personality of Godhead. There's one other way that we can understand the situation of the personality of Godhead, and that is by doing Go Seva. And I don't mean Go Seva, giving some money for Gomata, but going to Gomata, feeding Gomata, brushing Gomata, taking care of Gomata. Because when you do that, and Gomata reciprocates with you, then you realize gradually why Krishna loves the cows so much. You'll never understand why Krishna loves the cows so much. Krishna's always seen with the cow until you begin to associate with the cows. And then you began to understand the situation of Krishna, why he loves the cows so much. Because of all the animals in the world, the one animal that gives the most love is the cow, Gomata. And in the material world, the person that gives the most love to every human being is Mata. Every guru, even Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, at one time they were all at Chotabacha in the loving arms of their Mata, who gave them so much love and taught them about Krishna, taught them what is the goal of life, taught them everything, how to become a Paka human being. And that's why the mother is the first guru from her body. So first guru from her body, and then second guru, our spiritual body, from the spiritual master. So this is a little understanding here that Srila Prabhupada is giving. So one can come to this understanding of the Lord, his situation, how he descends into the material world, how he takes his birth, and what activities he performs. But one can know this only by executing devotional service. So the topmost devotional service is chanting the holy names of the Lord. Chanting the holy names of the Lord, that's for our benefit. But we shouldn't chant with the mood that this is for my benefit, because then it becomes karma kanda. We should chant with the mood that this is pleasing to Krishna. We should chant with the mood that this is Bhagavad Dharma, as explained by the Mahajans, as explained by the Shastra. And we're humbly following Shastra and following the Mahajans in the mood of Das, 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 Anudas. So when Krishna is pleased, we're successful in spiritual life. If Krishna is not pleased, then no matter what we do, we're unsuccessful in spiritual life. You understand? Just like with Guru, if you please the Guru, then he gives us blessings. If you displease the Guru, then how you can make advancement? He withholds his blessings because you've displeased him. So we have to be very careful and very conscious that we're performing the topmost yoga system. And I remember one class Prabhupada was giving, and I was sitting right there, and all of a sudden Prabhupada said, "Don't be Krishna unconscious." That got my attention because I'd never heard the phrase Krishna unconscious. Prabhupada said, first become conscious, then you can become Krishna conscious. Become conscious that we're dealing with Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Become conscious that the holy name is non-different than Krishna. The holy name is the mantra avatar. It's the sound avatar of Krishna. Krishna has so many avatars, Vishnu avatars, so many are there. Das avatar stotram, they're all there. But the Nam, Tan Nama, that holy name, that is non-different than Krishna. And that's why this shloka says, Etavan Eva, Etavan, that this Eva means indeed or certainly. We should understand this much, that devotional service, beginning with the chanting of the holy names of the Lord, is the ultimate religious system. This is Bhagavad Dharma. We should understand this. If we don't understand anything else, Etavan Eva, at least understand this, that the chanting of the holy names is Bhagavad Dharma. And then the second step is devotional service for other living entities, for the conditioned souls, for the Vaishnavas, for the Acharyas, for Gomata. We do it for their benefit. And we're never thinking I'm doing it for my benefit, because if I'm thinking like that, I reduce devotional service to an aparad. There are 10 aparads. Number 8. What is number 8? Who knows the 8th aparad? Exactly. To consider that the chanting, the holy name chanting, this process of chanting is, I'm making some benefit, that it's part of the karma kanda. Karma kanda, what does it mean? I do some action and I get a return. But that's business. Business means you do some action and you get some return. So to consider the holy name like that is business. It's an aparad, the 8th aparad. So how do we consider the holy name? We consider the holy name as a gift given by Krishna coming through the parampara to us. And we say, thank you, Krishna. Thank you so much for this wonderful gift. Now let me use this gift in your service. This is the correct understanding. And when we have the correct understanding, we get the correct result. If we have the wrong understanding, we don't get the correct result. Right? Is that logical? Is that fair? Yeah. So Yamaraj is explaining this. And he's explaining that the Mahajans, they're teaching this. This is coming in parampara. All the Mahajans. Every single Mahajan, beginning with Lord Brahma, with Narada, Lord Shiva, the 4 Kumaras, Lord Kapila, Swayambhuva Manu, Prahlad Maharaj, 5-year-old boy. Janak Maharaj, the father of Janaki, Bhishmadev, Bali Maharaj, Shukdev Goswami, and Yamaraj also. He's explaining this, so this is coming in Parampara, all the topmost Mahajans. So, Prabhupada says, as stated in Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati, simply by taking up this process of devotional service, one can understand everything about the Supreme Lord. Now, how can we understand everything about the Supreme Lord? How is that possible? With my tiny brain, my tiny intelligence, I'm going to understand everything about the Supreme Lord? How is that possible? Who knows? The answer is in Bhagavad Gita. Who knows? Shloka 15:15. Sarvasya chaham hridi sanavishto matta smitir jnanam. Krishna gives us that understanding. He gives us the remembrance. He gives us everything from within the heart. We just have to do our part. Chant the holy name with sincerity, with no offenses. And then Krishna reveals everything from within our heart. How close is Krishna to you? He's in your heart. Who can be more close than that? He's inside this body, inside the heart of hearts, the spiritual heart, where resides your consciousness. Krishna is there, and he's guiding us. The only problem is we don't listen when Krishna guides us. We have to learn to listen and hear the Lord and then follow. I'll give you an example. So a couple of weeks ago, I was ready to take prasad, and I was going to take prasad, and then the voice said, wash your hands. And then my mind started analyzing, but I already washed my hands. I washed my hands like 3 or 4 minutes ago. And then I remembered, oh, I have to follow the voice. That's Bhagavan. I have to train myself. So I went and washed my hands. We have to train ourselves to hear that voice. And sometimes people ask me, how do I know when I hear the voice, whether it's Bhagavan, Paramatma, or whether it's my mind? People ask me this question. Who wants to know the answer? The answer is very clear. When you analyze, then it's your mind. Because Bhagavan just speaks it and then that's it. No analyzing. As soon as you start analyzing, that's your mind. Then the other day, one devotee came to my home in Vrindavan, and he wanted guidance. He had many questions. And then he was telling me that he came to this movement through Lord Jagannath, and he loves Lord Jagannath, and he worships Lord Jagannath, just as Lord Jagannath himself, without Baladev and Subhadra. When he said that, I heard a voice inside, give him Lord Jagannath. And I was thinking, give him Lord Jagannath, because I have on my altar, I have Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, but I also have Jagannath by himself. So I was attached to that Jagannath. I didn't want to give, but the voice said, Krishna said, give him Lord Jagannath. So I went up to the altar, took it off, and gave it to him. Because I'm training myself to follow what Krishna says, that he guides me. This is called Paramatma Realization. And Prabhupada was completely and fully Paramatma realized. Whatever Paramatma told him, he followed. Paramatma said, go here, he went there. Paramatma said, say like this, he said like that. Paramatma said, do like this, he did like this. And that's why in 10 years, Prabhupada was able to spread and the chanting of the holy names all over the world to every town and village. He was able to fulfill Lord Chaitanya's prophecy in 10 short years. How many people here are in your 20s? Okay, those of you who are in your 20s, do you remember being in your teens? How fast that time passed, isn't it? So 10 years is nothing. It's Lord Brahma hasn't even begun to blink. He's thinking, I want to blink my eyes, and in 10 years, it barely moves. Because a blink like this of Lord Brahma is 65,000 of our years. So what is 10 years? He's just barely begun to blink. So we have to really take seriously this chanting of the holy names and train ourselves to follow Krishna when he speaks to us, because matas smritir jnanam, he gives us the remembrance and he gives us the knowledge. What remembrance does he give? That you're das, 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 anudas. You're the servant of everybody else. And sometimes I'm thinking, I would like to be served. I'm a brahmana. I'm an authority in the temple. Someone should serve me. This is the wrong idea. We're always das, 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 anudas. When you go back home, back to Godhead, in the spiritual world, you are das, 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 anudas. That is your eternal constitutional position. And when we're not in our eternal constitutional position, what is the Sanskrit word for that? The word in Sanskrit, when you're not in your constitutional position, is Maya. So you're either in Tattva or you're in Maya. There's only two possibilities. So don't be in Maya. So we want to become das, 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 anudas. And the way to become das, das, anudas is to chant the holy name of the Lord in the mood of das, 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 anudas. And when we hear the voice of the Lord, do it. Don't think about it. Don't analyze it. Don't come to a different idea. Just follow. And I'll tell you, because I've been practicing this for some time, it's not easy just to follow. Because we've developed a negative samskara in our brain to analyze and use our intelligence and come up with what we think is a better idea. But it's never a better idea. Krishna's idea is always the best. So here, Prabhupada is emphasizing that one can understand everything about the Supreme Lord because that knowledge comes from him. He's speaking to us from directly in our heart. And what happens next? If one fortunately understands the Supreme Lord in this way, the result is Jakva deham punarjanma naiti, that after giving up his material body, he no longer has to take birth in the material world. Everybody wants to go back home, back to Godhead? Now you know how to do it. You follow that voice. Everything Bhagavad says, Paramatma in your heart. You follow that voice. Don't analyze. Don't let your mind come in. Follow it. And in this way, Krishna gives us full understanding of his position. Nam, Rup, Gun, Lila, everything. And then, Naiti Mam, Eti Sorjuna, we don't take birth again. Punarjanma, Ekdam Hogya, finished. So then Prabhupada says that instead of taking birth, Punarjanma, you return home back to Godhead. That is the ultimate perfection. Therefore, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 8:15, Mam upetya punarjanma dukalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanaha samsiddhim param gata. After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion. Yogis in devotion means bhakti yogis. They never return to the temporary world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection. And this is the 8th chapter of Gita, Shloka 15. Now the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, you should study it very carefully, because the 8th chapter explains everything, how we can go back home, back to Godhead, step by step, starting with Shloka number 5, 6, 7, and 8, because he's explaining to Arjuna. So Krishna says the first thing is that whatever you think of at the end of your life, that determines your next birth. So if you practice chanting the Maha Mantra your whole life, then you will remember the Lord's name at the end of the life, and then you will come to me, Krishna says, asamshaya. That's the word he uses. You will return back to me, asamshaya. That means without doubt. No doubt, zero doubt, which means 100% guarantee. We want 100% guarantee to go back home, back to Godhead. Read that 8th chapter. Chant the holy names of the Lord. Listen to the voice when you hear Krishna guiding you. Don't analyze. As soon as you start analyzing, just remember, oh, this is my mind. Throw it out. Just follow that voice. Even you may not agree, but it's the best thing for us. I didn't want to give my Lord Jagannath to this devotee. I was attached. But the Paramatma said, give him Jagannath. So I gave, because I'm more attached to following what Krishna says. So that's what our real attachment is. And in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is asking questions and Krishna is explaining about yoga. So then Krishna says the essence of any yoga system, whether it's bhakti yoga or any other yoga, is to control the mind. Therefore, Arjuna, you have to learn to control your mind. Why is he saying control your mind? Because Arjuna's mind started to go off. He was ready to fight because Krishna had asked him to fight. And then all of a sudden, he's seeing like Bhishma on the other side, his teachers on the other side, his friends, his relatives, everybody. Dronacharya is on the other side, Kripacharya on the other side. And his mind says, this is our dharma. You can't fight, it's our dharma. So he says to Krishna, I can't fight, this is our dharma. His mind analyzed, and he stopped following Krishna. So Krishna's teaching, you have to follow what I tell you. So you have to control your mind. So then Arjuna says, control my mind? I can control the wind more easily than I control the mind. And Krishna says in chapter 6, shloka number 35, he says, undoubtedly, it's not easy to control the mind, but it can be done. And in shloka 35, chapter 6, he explains how it can be done. Abhyas, by suitable practice and detachment. And then in the purport, Prabhupada explains how to become detached and what is the suitable practice. How you become detached from everything material is to become attached to everything connected to Krishna. So my attachment is only to Supreme Lord Krishna. Every other attachment I give up. And the suitable practice, what is the suitable practice? Everybody thinks it's kirtanam. That's not the suitable practice. The suitable practice is shravanam, hearing. Hearing the Lord speak to you. Hearing what the Guru says to you. Hearing the holy name when you're chanting. Not thinking this, that, and the other thing, but only hearing. So in this way, these 10 Mahajans have explained the same thing. So the first is Lord Brahma. The second is Narada. So Narada, he is on the path of devotional service like us, and when he has a question, he goes to his authority. Just like when we have a question, we go to our authority. And who is Narada's authority? Brahma. So he had one question. And he goes to Lord Brahma, and he says, Lord Brahma, I have a question. Only you can answer this. And Lord Brahma is very happy. Yes, Narada ji, you please ask me anything. My whole life is just to serve you and to satisfy you. So Narada says, if I preach that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is Swayam Bhagavan, then people want to know, how can we connect to this Bhagavan, and how can we enter into a relationship with him? And Bhagavan, we want to enter into an eternal loving relationship with him because that's our eternal constitutional position as his servant. So Lord Brahma is so happy to hear this question. And so he gives his answer. And his answer, Lord Chaitanya quoted that so many times, again and again and again. It was the essence of Lord Chaitanya's mission. And here's the answer that Lord Brahma gave to Narad Muni. Harinama, Harinama, Harinama eva kevalam kalonascheva nascheva nasteva gatiranyata. Only by chanting the holy name can you connect to Krishna and then enter into a loving relationship with him. And then Naiti Ma Meti Sorjuna, Punarjanma finished. Go back home, back to Krishna, to enter into that loving, eternal relationship. So this is known as Bhagavad Dharma. This is what Yamaraj is speaking, and Yamaraj is also known as Dharmaraj. He's the king of Dharma. He understands Dharma because he's one of the Mahajans, along with the other Mahajans. So let's understand this and live our lives accordingly. Thank you very much. Question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, like when we pray to Krishna and it helps, and sometimes that voice which you are talking, that comes at its own will. And it is also said that Krishna acts to his devotees. So should we follow the voice or should we follow the devotees? And also it happens that sometimes we follow the devotees, then we also land into trouble instead of getting the right thing done.
So the question is, should we follow Krishna or should we follow the devotees? Well, what is Iskcon? Is it the International Society for Devotee Consciousness? Is it the International Society for Iskcon Consciousness? Or is it the International Society for Krishna Consciousness? Then you have to become Krishna conscious. You have to remember Krishna. You have to hear what Krishna says. You have to do what Krishna says. Now, sometimes a devotee will repeat exactly what Krishna says. And that's called the Parampara system. And Prabhupada said, if I have any credit, I was sitting there in the class when Prabhupada said, if I have any credit, it is only one thing, that I have delivered to you the message of Krishna, the Parampara, without adding anything or subtracting anything. So we heard from Prabhupada, but what is Prabhupada speaking? What Krishna is saying. So it's not the International Society for Prabhupada Consciousness, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And I'll give you an example from my life. In 1977, before Srila Prabhupada was his final pastimes, a few months before he left his body, he was very ill, and in his rooms in Vrindavan, he was laying on his bed and he couldn't move, he couldn't come down to give class. And devotees, 2 devotees at a time would go up and chant for an hour for Srila Prabhupada. So my turn came, myself and Nrsimha Chaitanya, my godbrother, who's already left the planet. we went up when our time came to chant for Prabhupada, and we had these little tiny kartals so that it would be very soft and quiet. And so I started chanting Hare Krishna. And then after about half an hour of chanting Hare Krishna, I was thinking, I want to glorify Prabhupada. Let me sing the Guru Vastakam, glorifying the Guru. So I started to sing Samsara Dava Nalalita Loka, and Prabhupada immediately went, no, just Mahamantra. He didn't want to hear glorification of himself. He only wanted to hear glorification of Krishna. That's what he only wanted to hear. So I learned that lesson very early, 1977. Prabhupada told me, not glorifying me, glorify Krishna. Hare Krishna. Any other question?
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful class, like you always give. Thank you. So my question is that our mind is not controlled fully. So how can we feel that we are listening to our mind or we are listening to Paramatma?
No, I already explained that in the class, so you weren't listening. If you analyze a thought, it means it's your mind. Paramatma doesn't analyze, he just tells you what to do. You either accept it or not accept. But you read chapter 6, Shloka number 35, read Prabhupada's purport. And in that purport he explains how to control the mind by Shravanam. Because if the Shravanam is good, the Kirtanam will be good. But if the Shravanam is bad, how the Kirtanam can be good? If the Shravanam is good and Kirtanam is good, the Smaranam will be good. But if the Shravanam is bad, then the Kirtanam is bad, and the Smaranam also bad. So it's a recipe for failure. The recipe for success is hearing. Don't let the mind get in the way. So read chapter 6, purport number 35, how to control the mind. Prabhupada explains. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
May I ask one last question, if you have? Thank you very much, Prabhuji. You practically handheld us through Bhaktivedanta purports. Thank you very much. My question, Prabhuji, is that both the Prabhujis who asked a question about mind and super soul is one thing. But the problem that comes in is like the example you gave also was in many ways not so completely similar services, like washing the hand and not washing the hand. You know that washing the hand is anyway better at any point of time. But there's seemingly Krishna conscious looking services, two similar Krishna conscious services. And we have to take a determined decision. We don't always have the liberty of somebody to consult with. At that point of time, how do we know, how do we take a chance with whether it's what the super soul wants of me or whether it's my intelligence?
Okay, so you're saying that there's two possible services, and how do I know which service to accept? Is that the question?
Yes.
Well, this came up in 1972 at New Vrindavan during the Janmashtami and Vyas Puja festival in 1972. So Vishnu Jan Maharaj, he had a bus and he was traveling with Radha Damodar distributing books everywhere and distributing the holy name. Now there was another sannyasi, his name was Satsvarup Maharaj, and he was in charge of the Dallas Preaching Center and also the Gurukula there. So after Prabhupada gave his talk on Vyas Puja, he approached Prabhupada and he said, "Sure, Prabhupada, I'm thinking I want to do change my service." So Prabhupada said, "Oh, why?" He said, "Because I see you're so pleased, Vishnu Jan Maharaj, traveling and preaching, distributing your books, and I'm just, in Dallas Temple, taking care of the Gurukula, so I want to also get a bus and travel and preach." And then Prabhupada chastised him. He said, "Devotional service is on the absolute platform. Every service is on the absolute platform. There is no better or not better. This is a mundane consideration. Sweeping the temple room floor. It's on the absolute platform. Distributing full sets of Prabhupada's books. It's all devotional service on the absolute platform. And then he said to Satsrup Maharaj, you are one of my senior disciples. It is not very encouraging that you do not understand the transcendental nature of devotional service, that it's on the absolute platform. So it's not one or the other. They're both on the transcendental platform. They're both perfect. Om Purnamada Purnamidam. So it's not that this is superior than the other. That's a mundane consideration. Did I answer your question?
I accept your answer, but I don't know quite whether I communicated what I wanted. Maybe we'll take it offline. I don't want to disturb others. My understanding, what I wanted to understand was, I understand that at a transcendental plane, both of them are critical, but there is a bandwidth issue, there is a schedule issue, and in a situation where you choose between two services in terms of priority, and when you are not having the liberty of having an authority to consult with at that point of time, how does one know that it's my mind or it is what Krishna wants?
So Prabhupada answered this. Which service is more, what's the word? Should receive priority, right? So Prabhupada explained you have to do the needful. Whatever is needed more, then you can do that one first. And if something you could do later, then do that one later. So do the needful first and do the other one later. But they're both on the transcendental absolute platform. But doing one first and doing one second, that's a detail. There are two considerations. One is the principle and the other is the detail. Principle is that devotional service is always on the absolute transcendental platform. Detail is whether I should do this one first or this one second. Details can be adjusted, but principles can never be adjusted. TK? Satisfied?
Are your blessings?
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki.
His Grace Vaiyasaki Prabhu ki.